And how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the Grade A Flicks channel. As Grade A Fantasy is ready to give you his top plays at running back for the Week 12 NFL slate. Let's get right into it. Now, it's kind of crazy because obviously I've been speaking up more about Saquon all year, but goddamn, he has to do a lot and he can't be slowed down by anything with 10,000. So I can't recommend him as a top play because, like I said, if he gives you anywhere from like an 18, even a 23, that kind of doesn't get you there. But you got a man that can give you a 27, 20, 29, 30. So to times three that value. I mean, at minimum, he has to give you at least a 25 to 27 to make it feel like, oh, it wasn't a total waste of time. But he has to do a lot. He basically has to do what he did against Washington a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, hopefully this is the right week to put him at 10,000 because they're on bye. So, he's done a lot of work, come back off 2 weeks of fresh legs. But yeah, I think he's only had one or two performances. The Washington game a couple of weeks ago against the Jacksonville, 34.4. Oh, okay, against New Orleans, 34.6. And opening week, 35.2. So, yes, could he be considered a top play? Yes, but it's a risky top play. He has shown, I thought it was only three times, he has shown 4 or 5 times that he can play, he can produce fantasy figures that represent and that will actually suffice a $10,000 price tag, 5 figures. But we'll see where we go from there. Uh, you know, maybe you still fade McCaffrey, whatever, depending on the ownership. I mean, I know McCaffrey should definitely still see some ownership. He's McCaffrey, but the 500 that you're gonna save on Saquon, he's still gonna see the ownership. So if he's still like trying to get himself into it, then hey, maybe those are two people you can actually win automatically by fading those two in the field. But if you made me pick right now, if you made me pick, I'm still getting more of Saquon than I'm getting 500 cheaper McCaffrey. But like I said, when it comes to the top plays, I'm starting at the third price back. Joe Mixon, nice matchup against at home. Most importantly, at home against Tennessee. Like I said, Joe Mixon's workload. Like I said, he also at any time has a slate breaking ability. Has 3 touchdowns just last night against the Cowboys. So he just continues to be great. Devon Achane, like I said, the volume. Like I said, he's the lead back, but most importantly, he is the second wide receiver. Like I said, Jalen Waddle damn near inactive. Now, the week that you get Jalen Waddle right is probably the week that you win a milli. But it might not be this week. Like I said, New England's playing better, but I think Miami has found his groove. If they have any chance of at least sniffing a wild card spot, then they're gonna have to need Devon Achane at home to get this winning streak going. Like I said, you got Sonic and Knuckles right next to each other at 86 and 84. Good matchup against Indianapolis. You gotta like that. Both running backs are viable. Brees Hall, like I said, they normally get run through. Brees Hall just ran on them, so you gotta like Gibbs and Montgomery this week. It's just a case of they're 200 apiece, so it's just a case of who do you pick and who do you go to. That's pretty much all it matters. That's pretty much what it is. Who do you go to? Now we talk about one of my favorite spots. I mean, he is my favorite spot. Whoever the Chiefs running back is my favorite spot because they got Carolina. I mean, this might not be the week. I mean, I understand the passing volume is starting to improve, especially for people like Kelsey, but against a team that can't stop the run and they're the worst. I mean, and like I said, we're far long gone from the big bomb Tyreek and 12 target consistently to Kelsey days. This might be an off day for Mahomes, and who knows? I don't know if they fully put Pacheco back, but he is expected back. He's not clear yet, but signs are pointing that he is coming back. But if no Pacheco, then yeah, probably one of the chalkiest spots in the slate will be Kareem Hunt with this great matchup at 7,500. But yeah, any Chiefs running back this week, whoever's in that backfield leading the way, is gonna be one of my top plays. Kenneth Walker normally has good games against Arizona, plus they're at home, and like I said, they've increased his workload this year because they actually gave him a lot of passes in the flat. So Kenneth Walker against Arizona. And then there goes my second play, 1A and 1B. Chiefs running back and Brian Robinson Jr. at home against pitiful Dallas defense. Most importantly, I think you're going to keep seeing Brian Robinson because I still think Jaden Daniels is still has dinged up ribs. Ribs take a while. It's not something that just automatically just gets better. It takes a while. So I really think that you're going to get a surplus of Brian Robinson Jr. Even if Jaden Daniels is able to, get some passes downfield, I think Brian Robinson should be able to get these goal line looks and get a surplus of carries and opportunities this week. James Conner, I think he's just an unsung hero. Always a solid player at 77. As we get down a little deeper here, we're gonna go down to both guys here are viable. Now, if another big injury, another big name that's supposed to come back this week, if Mike Evans clears, I think regardless, him there or not, you're taking Bucky Irving. Rashad White, he'll just get like certain down work. Obviously, with the lack of wide receivers, you had to give him more receiving work. But now with Mike Evans expected to come back this week, definitely a downgrade for Rashad White. I like something. He just won't get the extra volume he has been getting for the lack of wide receivers. That's why I'm taking Bucky Irving at 68 as one of my top plays. If we want to start getting to the budget, I think it's kind of crazy that Ramondre didn't move. I was big on Ramondre last week. I'm big on him this week. Plus, good value for 6,400. Miami is a defense that can't be had on the ground. And as we keep going down, there's not really much here, but I do want to open your eyes to two things. Well, one, it is a good matchup for Javonte Williams or any Denver running back, but I mean, like I said, it's hard to trust Denver. Is because it's the way Sean Payton is. He's the way he's coaching the team. Like I said, this year is basically a tryout for next year to see who he wants to keep and this and that. Because the big talk about Estimate over the last 2 weeks didn't come up to nothing and then Javonte Williams himself, he didn't do much because all he did was get, like I said, they were blowing out, but then Bo Nix ended up throwing 3 TD passes. He only got 9 for 59 and a touchdown. Then he got 5 targets for 4 and 28 yards. So he ended with a 16. So an Estimate didn't really do much. So, I mean, I guess if you see it that way, but like I said, you can't really count on with touches and opportunities going back and forth. So yes, Javonte Williams does look okay. It's just a risk. I guess it depends on how Sean Payton is feeling that day. But when it comes to the actual bargain, I think you have to pay attention to one thing here. Alexander Madison, questionable with an ankle, left the game, and then Zamir White hurt with a quadriceps. So right now, what's looking like the main and only piece of a budget-friendly, I just lost him, of a budget-friendly running back is Amir Abdullah. Abdullah was the one that came in, got a little bit of run, one rush, 1 yard, 3 targets, 3 catches, 16 yards and a touchdown. He's 5,000. If both Madison and Zamir White can go, there's a running back. It's a tough matchup, but because it's 5,000, he is going to garner some ownership, and it does open up some things for you. But that's the end of the running back vid. Thank you for tuning in. This is Grade A Fantasy signing off. Defensive video is going to be worked on soon. Might get posted tonight or first thing in the morning. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Once again, Grade A Fantasy signing off.